everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Karina and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the second update for Partners in Cream for 2023. Of course, this is a just about year-long project. It focuses on basically your non-powdered items, and we have a whole bunch of stuff to discuss today, including a whole new item that I'm going to be rolling in just to add in. As we were at 4 items before, I do want to up it to 5. Story time later for why we waited till now to do it till 5. And of course, we got some goals met. We've got an empty. It's gonna be a good update, guys. Let's just dive right into it. So starting off with this guy. So of course, this is the Smashbox. This is the Primerizer, kind of a primer moisturizer in one. It was tiny last time. And again, I told you, no surprises here. This was going to get finished. So you can kind of see that comparison. It only took me an additional 8 uses to get that finished off. And yes, there is a little bit of product down there at the bottom, which I cannot get out. So this is now officially done. We will do the roll in for it at the very end. But again, even though there was so little left, I did just want to make sure I did get it done, because I have that tiny little bit just hanging around in the collection for no reason whatsoever. So we got it used up. And of course, this was another primer that I had wanted to finish in my makeup plan to pan for 2023. Both of those primers are now done. Awesome. So we get to move on to new primers. The second item, of course, is my iconic London. This is the multi-use sculpting palette, and I have been focusing on the highlighting shades, which I use as concealer. Yeah, not a big fan of these kind of items. I did get in a BoxyCharm. It wasn't my choice item, but it is what they ended up sending to me instead. The goal, of course, is to finish the entire top row. I had the middle shade done last time, so you can see where we're at. And let's see where we are now. So we're looking a little different in here. So I have used this palette now 23 times since the last update. And again, not focusing on any of the bottom down here. I'm going to start over here. For those of you who may have been catching some of my other videos, I mentioned that I went on a Caribbean cruise over the February break. Of course, got a little bit of color from that, and now I've started using this one a little bit as more of my spot concealer option, so I've been able to get away with that a little bit. So I am using that now. We'll see how long this color lasts for me. Again, if it doesn't work, then of course I'll just bring it in the summer when I have more of that consistent color going on. But of course, the much more visual difference, you guys, this one over here, it's the one I'm using under my eyes as kind of my brightening step. And we've been clearing it out. So I was focusing my sponge on this side, because you don't want to accidentally get some of those really, really dark shades. That would be like the opposite of what we're trying to do here. You may be able to see there, right, this part is a lot thicker, right, so slowly trying to wear away at it. I've been moving my sponge, again, going along this way to make sure this is as cleaned out as I can get it. I'm anticipating maybe another 2 months, which would be pretty good timing, because, you know, that's April and May. So we'll see how long I can get away with this, using this under the eye before it becomes too bright and light, but we'll see what happens with it. And I am glad that I've started making progress over here. I'm thinking there's less product. I'm thinking there's less product in this one than there is over here, just the way it looks based on thickness. Possibly. So with the iconic, of course, we're just going to keep on working on it. It's going to be a long-term project in here for us. So we'll get to where we get to when we get to it, but it'll be great when we get there because I have other concealers. I'm ready to actually use like proper concealers. Item number 3 is my blush. So this is the Dominique Cosmetics Cream Blush in Soft Pink. There is 5 grams of product in here. You'll see where we were, and this is where we are now. You may be able to tell, like, there's much more of a dip in there now. At least I can visually see it. I don't think we're close to any pan at all based on, again, the width over here. But visible progress is visible progress. My goal for this one was to use it 50 times. I am very pleased to announce that today is day number 50. So I did get my 50 uses out of it. We got some progress on here. So for now, this one is going to roll out. I'm going to switch over to a different product because I do want to kind of cycle through a little bit. I did enjoy using it throughout the course of the project. I'm sure you'll see it again sometime. But for now, yeah, just such good progress. I'm very pleased with myself. And the last item that's currently in the project, of course, is my Maybelline. This is the Color Tattoo eyeshadow in Socialite. It is a cream eyeshadow. I have a goal of using this 5 times every month, and I'll just let you guys know I did use it exactly 5 times since the last update. Now, the picture that you are seeing, usually I take my pictures before I film the update. I don't know what happened last month, but I accidentally, when I was trying to take the picture, I don't know what I did. I took the lid off and somehow dug my thumbnail into it. So there was a bit of an imprint left in there. Oops. So this month I was focusing my brush on trying to remove that dent that my thumbnail left on it. And this is where we got to. So that dent, you can see it. It's still a little bit in right there. Right, 5 uses. It's a pretty deep dent, I think. Wasn't enough to get rid of it. But I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm making actually really good progress on this. This year, I have been focusing my brush around the sides, trying to clear some of that out. You can kind of see some of that in there. And so like this middle part doesn't get a whole lot of use. And that's getting kind of high compared to the bottom part of it. I'm not explaining this very well, but you guys can see it. I feel like I'm making really good progress, which is exciting because I've been working on this for quite some time now, as you can obviously see. But that's super exciting. So it's not going anywhere in this project, but progress is progress. I got my 5 uses. We'll do another 5 next month. So that means we had in this particular update 2 out of 4, so 50% of the items in here, we're going to be replacing them. Plus, I'm going to be adding in a 5th item entirely. So to start with replacements, nothing so shocking going to happen here. To replace this primer, we're going to bring in this primer. This is the Bourjois primer. This is their healthy mix. It is the base anti-fatigue blurring primer. As you guys can see, got on clear up for $1.99. Got it from Shoppers Drug Mart. So nice. We got 20 milliliters of product in here. And it is definitely blurring. It has a bit of a scent to it, so I'm not the biggest fan of a scent, but it does blur. Kind of seems to set a nice little base there, so that's nice so far. When I had finished up the Smashbox primer, I did get into this one a little bit just to make sure, you know, it wasn't horrible before I started it. The packaging of it is completely opaque. Now this was completely full when I started, or at least it was a brand new item. I didn't think to check with my flashlight to see where exactly it fell. But I just checked with my flashlight now, and I don't think it would have been completely full when I started, because before the cruise, like, yes, I used it a little bit, but then I didn't use this one after the cruise. I was trying to finish up the primer I took on the cruise, which I have now done. Today was my last day using that. So, empties video, stay tuned for that. But for this guy, when I shine my flashlight through it now, it's here. All the way down there already. And again, this is the thickest part of the bottle, so there's no way it was completely full to the top. But I guess we'll see what happens in a month. I might be able to get through this one faster than I thought, which is great because I have so many primers, because that's like one of the favorite things that BoxyCharm has to send me. So I've got such a backlog of them to get through, but I did want to focus on one I bought myself, even though I only paid $1.99 for it. Again, not my favorite primer because of the scent, but I want to play with it more. I want to get it used up. It is a smaller item, and especially with that progress thus far, we'll see how we go. The goal is to finish it. And then, of course, to replace the Dominique Cosmetics blush, I'm going to bring in something that is familiar for you guys if you caught my makeup plan to pan video for 2023. If not, feel free to check it out. And that, of course, is another BoxyCharm item, and that is the Alleyoop. So this is the Stack the Odds in the shade Sassy Pants. One of these kind of caterpillar type things. So this is what we've got in here. We've got a bronzer, a blush, and a highlight. Now, if you caught my makeup plan to pan video, you will note that I had about 3 weeks of use on this, but I rolled it into like a shop my stash rotation, so I did track the uses previously. And with that, I discovered I do not like the highlight at all. So we're going to ignore it, because why use something that you don't like? That leaves us with the bronzer and the blush. These are both cream products, as was the highlighter, but anyway. So let's talk about goals. What I want to do in Partners in Cream this year with this item. Ideally, I want to use it up. Can I do that though? Or will I burn out on doing that? That's another question entirely. So let's start with a smaller goal to get us going. So again, 3 weeks of progress on here. What I want to do for Partners in Cream, I want to start with this bronzer. Kind of see where we're at. There's really not a whole lot of product in here. Yeah, there's 8.1 grams overall, so I guess 8.1 divided by 3. That's probably what we're dealing with. I want to use up the bronzer. I don't know, because again, I haven't tested it on my skin. I do prefer it more when I have color, but because I have a little bit of color from the Caribbean, maybe I can get away with it now. If not, I'll do it later on as we eventually get to warmer weather. I will track the uses, both for the bronzer and the blush, so those will be counted separately, so you guys know how many uses it takes for me to finish these up. But that's goal number 1, is to finish the bronzer. And then, of course, the second goal has to do with this blush. It is very similar to the Dominique Cosmetics. Just to give you kind of that comparison there. This one is a little bit darker, so again, especially as we start getting towards spring, it is coming. Eventually, as we're moving into spring and then into summer, depending how long this ends up taking me, we'll get some good use on it. The goal for this one, because again, I don't know if I can finish it or if I'll burn out on it, but the goal to start is going to be to hit pan on this blush. Once I have finished the bronzer and hit pan on the blush, then I'll reevaluate, do I want to finish the blush? Do I want to roll something else in? Because I have other cream blush products I want to get some work on. So we're going to focus on these 2 of the 3. And finally, I am rolling in an entirely new item to be item number 5 for us. Also familiar, if you caught my plan to pan makeup for 2023, it is my L'Oreal 24-Hour Freshwear Infallible Foundation. This is in the shade 410 Ivory. Now, I am starting it right down there. Way down low. So, this is pretty much where it was back when I did that makeup plan to pan video. And I would have been done it by now if I had focused on the foundation right from the beginning. But the reason why I didn't, because I knew it was further down towards the bottom and I knew I liked this foundation, I wanted to take it with me on vacation right to the Caribbean. Yes, it's a glass bottle, which, I mean, it was fine. We got away with it. It's okay. Not that we're really getting away with anything there. It's just a glass bottle. But you know what I mean, right? It's smaller so that if something happened, if luggage was lost, if whatever the case may have been, right, it's just a little bit of foundation left over. So that was my logic. I was saving it particularly for a vacation. I took it down there with me for a vacation. So I got a solid week's use of progress from that. And I have been using it since I got back from vacation. So this is our starting off point. Apparently I didn't need to save as much of this as I thought, because that's basically where I thought we started. It is difficult to work with at this point, because when I press up here on the pump, very messy, apologies. It's very spurty. It's hard to get product out. So I'm surprised it's this high. So we'll see how we progress through. And yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. But this is going to be the 5th item to join the project. So just to provide some overview, what we've got, we have a primer, we have a foundation, we have a cream eyeshadow, we have what I use as concealers, and we have a cream blush and bronzer, although technically I'm counting them as one item, but there's 2 ones that I'm tracking separately. It's fine. That's what's in this project at this point. In terms of goals, I don't know if we're going to be able to get any rollouts next time. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but to set official intentions here, obviously we're going to continue on with this eyeshadow, another 5 uses on it for the next update, or at least 5 uses on it for the next update. Obviously we're going to keep progressing. The only thing I might maybe be able to finish is the foundation. It does depend a little bit on, you know, I can see the lines, and it being liquid, it seems to settle decently, but how much of it am I going to be able to get out? I haven't been able to get this top off yet, so we'll see what happens. It might be finished next month, it may not. So next month may end up being just a progress month, or we will have one new roll-in. And if it is this one, it will be a new foundation, because I always do want to have a foundation in the project, simply because for myself, I tend to be a one foundation type of girl, right? I tend to prefer to have one primer open. That hasn't happened recently, but one primer, one foundation, one mascara. So that's kind of what I go for. But it would be nice to make some progress on the foundation, get more foundations out. I know exactly what the next one is going to be that I want to roll in when the L'Oreal is complete. So hopefully we can get to that one sometime soon. But that is it. That is everything for today's update. We had 2 products that we met goals on. We added another one into the project. We're progressing on everything. And at the end of the day, that's what's most important, right? Making progress on the makeup, enjoying the progress, and of course, sharing all of that with you guys. All right, so let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next update. Of course, it does go up on the 10th of every month, but you know, that way you don't have to have that detail in the back of your mind, and you can just be notified by YouTube when I do post that video. And of course, if you enjoy project pans, I have so many of them that I have going on. We've got makeup, we've got skincare, we've got one specific to eyeshadow, we have themed ones, we have seasonal projects. So I've got a lot going on. If any of that sounds great to you, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of those. I've been making really good progress so far, so I'm pleased to share that with you. And I'm always so thrilled to have you guys by my side, cheering me on, sharing advice, all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one very soon. Have a wonderful day.